What is your name?
Kimberly Simone.
Wayne Simone.
Yeah, we need food. All right. Well, drinks at your table. Welcome again.
There's a water moccasin eating another steak. I have pictures of it.
Where's the drone?
Sorry?
Where's the drone?
Oh, it's in the room.
Oh, okay. Should bring it in here.
I wish.
Yeah.
Hey, Rashawn. Welcome to BBC 2019. We're gonna have a fun week.
What is your name?
Patrick Gamble,
Where are you from?
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, my son bought a Mexican. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Watch this guy here.
Watch him.
How you doing? What is that, a Browning hammer?
Sorry?
Is that a Browning hammer?
It's a Sony.
Oh, Browning, okay. There's no Browning yet.
Doing great, man. I enjoyed the CD last year.
I'm glad.
It was fantastic. I wore it out.
Yes?
I didn't think you could wear a CD out, but I wore it out.
You wore it out? That's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you.
Good job.
Sorry.
Good food. Good food.
Oh, I'm about to get some. Oh, yes. I'm about to, let me see. Let me see.
Oh yes, we have cheesesteak and we have barbecue and we have
That looks
homemade
amazing.
apple cobbler.
That looks amazing.
Yes.
The man is here. The man is here. No, that's my girl.
That's your girl.
This is my West Coast connection. Gimme.
This is my East Coast connection.
Yeah, baby.
You guys having fun?
Oh, yeah. Love it.
I love it. I love the job you do. You know, really, I do.
How are you feeling?
Considering everything, you know, from where you and I met two plus years ago, I'm still here.
That's good.
I told the doctor, one of the doctors in Florida, right, I said, I can't kick the bucket. I said, I got a couple of people I got to piss off yet.
Yeah.
He laughed his ass off and said, I don't care what motivates you, pal, as long as you're positively motivated,
That's right.
go to it.
Yes.
So you're not on the list.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Be on your good side.
BBC was founded by most of everybody's good friend here, Clay Green, 19 years ago. People were wanting an East Coast tour and they wanted to make it national. There was a club, and I don't recall the name of it, but it is now defunct.
2001, I thought it'd be a neat idea to have a tour, all right? And I thought, I'll do this for a year. Well, here we are 18 years later. Thing got a life of its own, and it's just been a lot of fun and marvelous, you know, so we're going on, you know.
And a group of people had decided to found this tour, and it originally started in Bucks County. So BBC was originally called Brass in Bucks County, and then it had run its life in Bucks County, and it became Brass in Berks County, the next county over. And then we moved now into Lancaster County, so now we refer to it as Beautiful Brass Cars, ergo still BBC.
What made you want to start the BBC?
That's a very good question, Rashawn. Stupidity might be an answer. There was a tour up in New England prior to BBC, and for whatever reason that kind of died. And I thought, you know, a lot of people were having fun. You know, if we have to move it, we'll move it and continue this. So that's kind of how it started.
Sean, I'm gonna ride with them.
Yeah, it's fine.
See, he's ridden with us before, so he knows it's not perfect.
Risk of a last-minute adjustment.
Hey, you guys have room for one more?
Would you mind?
Perfect.
Could he piggyback in the back of your car today?
He may. I don't know if he can.
You may.
All right, Meg, thank you so much. How you guys doing today? Lost? Yeah, everybody's lost right now. When did you buy this?
1976.
1976?
Yeah.
How'd you find it?
It was in Hartsdale, New York.
Okay.
Met the guy at a car show. This was the second car we had. First one was a 24 Tudor sedan. So we bought and then started progressively getting earlier and earlier. The oldest is a 1903 Ford.
That's what you have?
Yeah.
1903 Ford?
It's in the government book. You gotta get out and push it off the...
The engineering, of course, was a little cruder. Things develop, things evolve. These cars are all at least 104 years old. Some of them are much older than that. And they didn't have the metals, the materials back then that we have now. So even if they engineered things perfectly, they didn't have the tooling and they didn't have the materials. So things are going to break. And as we evolve into you know, today we'd be driving a Tesla. It's a completely different machine than a Model T. And the cars are all different. Some of the cars were 4-speed transmissions. Some of them have planetary transmissions like a T does. Some of them have friction transmissions, friction drive, which is pretty much infinitely variable gears. So some of them are big and heavy and hard to turn, and some are small and agile and have wooden axles.
ice cream time, boys.
Yes.
You betcha. Let's do it. Always have to have ice cream.
Always.
Part of the trip. Every day.
Every day we get ice cream at the end of the day. Now, what's on the agenda for after ice cream?
Continue on the tour. Don't get lost.
That's the biggest thing.
Follow the directions if they're right. If not, follow the car in front of you.
Hopefully that they're right. Hopefully they're right.
When you get lost in these old cars, and you pull up to an intersection, just look for the oil. You'll know which way to go. That's all you got to do is look for the oil.
Oh, the
That's
oil.
always a sign of these cars.
What was like your favorite experience on any tour? Your favorite memory?
Oh, goodness. On any tour. On any BBC tour.
Yes.
So I think probably it was about 5 or 6 years ago, and we had finally finalized the purchase of a car that we had been wanting for probably 8 or 9 years, that we'd first seen on a tour, on that same tour 8 or 9 years ago. And so we'd finally negotiated it. We were finally going to take possession of it at the beginning of this BBC tour, and we'd spent the day flying across the United States and renting our rental car and driving from the airport to the hotel. And as we pulled up to the hotel, the entire group of BBC tourers were all collected around the entrance to the hotel, and here was the car that we'd wanted, and it was parked there and waiting for us with signage that said, you know, welcome Kim and Wayne, and balloons, and it just felt like this huge family gathering of people that were truly just exceptionally happy for us that we'd finally gotten this car that we'd been wanting for a very long time. So that wasn't really about touring, but it's certainly about the camaraderie and the relationships that you make.
Wow. Over 18 years? They've all been great, all right? Is there one that stands out in my mind? Well, there are a couple situations that stand out in my mind. In all the years of touring, which at that point was 30 plus, I had never forded a creek, all right? And the wife and I were laying out a tour, and we discovered a creek fording, okay? Never done this. Why don't we do it? Well, as she and I, during the day of that tour, were approaching the tour, I mentioned to her, nobody's coming back the other way. It may have worked. And as it turns out, Rashawn, it really turned out to be neat, all right? Yeah, we forded the creek and went up and everything was fine. And I guess we did that for 2 or 3 years on BBC. And I was driving in my Pierce one time, and it had rained right before we crossed that creek, and it flooded the carburetor with water, and there I am sitting like a dead duck in the middle of the creek. Managed to get it started and got it out of there, but that was very, very memorable, you know, so.
Who thought of that? Is that your idea?
Well,
We're having breakfast, huh? There you go. You're a lovely guy.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm funny.
With Tim, they're much more disease resistant. They're much more some people call stubborn or that way. Sometimes that can also be a good thing. You know. I'll do the slider right here. Pigs.
All the pigs are going to go up and then they're going to go down the side.
I think my favorite stops were our Amish tour yesterday. We called it the Amish Experience. We went to an Amish camel farm, which I've lived here my whole life. I never knew we had camels in Pennsylvania. And then we did a gourd farm where they grew gourds and had thousands of gourds, and they made birdhouses and planters out of them. And we went to like this petting zoo with pigs going down sliding boards and turkeys and horses, and just a real cool, cool, walking on the Amish farms that are off of the tourist path. Not commercialized, and just really, really great day. Yeah.
Well, I have to say, watching pigs go down a slide was one of the top things. I liked all the stuff that everyone else mentioned. The gourd factory. I had no idea what a gourd really was, and to see all the things they could make out of those was kind of interesting. And of course, one of my favorite things is always the family, the BBC family.
He knows a lot about the car.
Tell me a little bit about this car.
Well, the water pump is exactly the same. This is what they call a Pierce 66.
Yep.
And it's my car with 2 more cylinders added to it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. But magnificent automobile. Creme de la creme, the best you could ever buy back then.
Yeah.
You know.
He had this thing in 4th gear most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mine, Trace, if I can hit any hill, including the Rocky Mountains, when we went out there.
That's right, you did. Yeah.
If I could hit it at 40 mile an hour, 4th gear, it walked right up.
Yep.
Incredible amount of torque. For relativity, Rashawn, my car, and I'm assuming this is probably in the same church, all right, cost $5,000 in 1909. I mean, that was a fortune.
And a Model T was $800.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so they were expensive.
So this was compared to like today's car, it was like a Rolls Royce.
It's probably above a Rolls Royce.
Above a Rolls Royce.
Yeah. Yeah. $5,000 in 1909. I'm not able to do the math, but it was a fortune. All right. So they only sold 101 of them then. So
oh
yeah,
my God.
maybe that tells you why.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. I'll put that. How you doing, Tommy?
How are you doing?
Doing great.
You guys did a good job on that last year. I did see the DVD.
You did? I appreciate it.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Young guys pushing us little guys out of the
No.
way. Putting us out to pasture.
No.
On us old farts. Yeah, you say that now.
No.
No, you seriously, you did a good job.
Thank you. I'm trying to do a great job this year, see what I can do.
Be a photographer?
Yeah, I write for a bunch of different magazines.
Oh, nice. That's very neat.
Yeah, well, because I've been doing magazines.
I saw one with an iPad.
Did you really?
They were taking pictures of her when I was driving by. I'm like, that's pretty neat. I'll be good with it. No pictures. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'll put that camera back down in the car.
Audio camera.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I've always wanted to do a Gaslight tour with a group, and I've never done that. I've done Gaslight touring before, but so there were two kinds of Gaslights back in the day. Actually, the lights were the same, but there was two sources. One is called a carbide generator, where water drips on calcium carbide. That makes acetylene gas, runs up some tubes, goes into the headlights, burners, and you light them. The other one is a tank. Presto Light was one brand of tank, where it's the tank is got some mesh in it and some stabilizer, and you just crack the valve, and that one's real easy, and the lights light immediately. Then the side lights are kerosene, and the tail light is kerosene, so everybody knows what those are. Those are pretty simple.
The Gaslight tour?
Yes.
That was an idea that Pat and Trees came up with. All right, and I'm totally in favor of it. All right. Unfortunately, most of these cars have been converted to electric, as have mine. I only have one car that now has gas lights. Okay. Simply as a matter of safety, if I can put it that way, or convenience, one of the two. The car I have with me today, the 9 Pierce, that car's got 45,000 miles on it. It's been all over the country in Nova Scotia, and just as a matter of practicality and safety, I put, LED electric lights. Throw the switch. I'm going to be safe getting home. All right. So I think we only had like 5 that were gas lit. All right. Which is the way it was done back then. And fortunately or unfortunately, probably from point of safety, fortunately, a lot of people, as I have done, converted them to electric. But it's a spectacle that the people in this town aren't going to see ever again. I don't know how many cars were in that parade, but I'm going to guess 40. Okay? Driving through town with, 100-year-old cars, you aren't going to see that every day. So, it worked out well. And a lot of fun, which is the whole mission, have fun.
All right, go ahead, say something inspirational about the tour or something like that.
It was pretty cool in here, dude. Like, back in the days, how they make wheels. It's all by wood. Hopefully, woodpecker doesn't come through. There's a car.
This is his inspiration on the tour.
It's pretty unique, though. We have wheels from the 1800s, from the 1900s, early 1900s. It's pretty cool. Really dope.
What do you like best about the tour?
Oh my goodness. Well, I really enjoy the people. We've been coming so many years, and there have been so many people that come again and again each year. We've really developed some wonderful relationships, but every single year the tour is different. The stops are different. A lot of creativity goes into it. I love the idea that people kind of leave on the tour each morning kind of around a suggested time, but then you bump into people all day long as you're touring. Kind of feels a little bit like Keystone Cops, cars going this way and cars going that way, and it's just great fun to let the day unfold at the pace that you want it to unfold. We make great stops, we have great food, ice cream stops every afternoon. Everything about the tour is wonderful.
Best thing about this tour, outside of the coffees and donuts, outside of the ice cream shops, outside of the roads, it's got to be the people. The people from all over the country, all over the world. Just some of the best people you would ever want to know. And because we all have the same affinity, the love for these old rolling pieces of history. Yeah.
Jump in, drive, and enjoy. I have had Corvettes, I've had Pontiac GTOs, I've had all this muscle stuff. But I'm going to tell you something, Rashawn. Nowhere have I had as much fun as I have with the brass cars. And the people involved in this end of the hobby are just phenomenal. it's just an amazing group of people. You know, everybody's there to help. If you break down on the side of the road, your problem is going to be getting rid of the traffic of people stopping to help you. You know, you won't be left alone. So it's an amazing end to the hobby, and I love it. And we have fun. That's our mission.
All right, and we can expect to see you next year.
Absolutely. I wouldn't miss it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you.
2019 is going to be over next year, or tomorrow,
Yes,
right?
yes.
We're going to be back in 2020, all right? And I say, this thing started 18 years ago, all right? And it just literally took on a life of its own. And we're having 75 cars on this tour. And I'm going to bet you 90% of them will be back next year. And we're not going to be here in Strasbourg. Probably be in Morgantown. At least that's where it seems it's going to be. And we're still going to do the same thing. We're going to have fun. So, y'all come and join us, you hear?
Thank you.